Okay, so to finish up on neighbor discovery, like I said, it's just a set of messages which are being sent. We have the neighbor solicitation and the neighbor advertisement, which are used for device-to-device messaging, such as in address resolution. IPv6 devices use ND to resolve the MAC address of unknown IPv6 addresses. The NS messages are sent using a special Ethernet and IPv6 multicast address. All right. With ARP, let's start learning a few things. With ARP, we have a broadcast being sent. With neighbor discovery, we cannot send a broadcast because with IPv6, we don't have broadcast. With IPv4, we have what we call a broadcast where we send to all the devices. With IPv6, the broadcast does not exist. We have these special multicast addresses, which are used to send to all devices which subscribe to that multicast address. So there you have your neighbor solicitation. Hey, whoever has this IPv6, send me your MAC address. This is the neighbor advertisement. Hi, I am this address and my MAC address is this one. Exchange of messages. Every protocol, if you want to understand what a protocol is, the perspective you need to use is it's just an exchange of messages and you are good to go. And basically, that concludes our lesson on ARP, the Address Resolution Protocol. I think this was very much easy. Right, to continue, I want to get into the lab, which basically demonstrates what how the ARP process takes place. So I'm not going to go into the nitty-gritties of the lab itself because it has quite a lot of things to do and answering of questions as well. We're going to use this as part of our assessments, answering all those questions. And I do hope people are doing these labs because they are very much important. You can see, where are we? All right, all these questions, reflection questions, very important questions being asked here. 20 on this one, very important. And you need to revise, answer all those questions. Right, with this one, we're just going to demonstrate how the ARP protocol works. So what we're going to do, we're going to ping using our simulation mode. I've already introduced you to the simulation mode. We have the real time, we have the simulation. All right, using the simulation mode, we want to ping 172.16.31.2 from this PC. All right, we go to ping. So if you hear ping, your brain should immediately start talking about ICMP. That's basically what ping is. So we're going to ping 172.16.31.2. Right. There is our ping. Right. Let's go diagram ready to our topology. You can see we now have an envelope. All right. Let me just fast forward. All right. Envelope area. Let's go switch. Let's watch what is happening to that envelope. I think we won't need this. Let me remove this. Right. I want to go through all the captures of our. All right. What we are looking at is this envelope. What is happening to it? Right. There it is being broadcasted from the hub. A hub always broadcasts, even if the destination is unicast, it always broadcasts. That's the difference between a hub and a switch. All right, let's go. Then there is a response coming. Then there is another broadcast up until we get to our device. So what is happening with this ping? Step number one, the ping process starts. The next ping request, the ping process recreates an ICMP echo request message and it sends to the lower processes. The source IP is not specified. The device sends it to the port's IP address. The destination IP address is the same subnet. The device sends the next hop to the destination. We go to layer 2. This is what is happening at layer 3. At layer 2, we do not have the destination MAC resolved. We are supposed to have the MAC address here, but we don't have it. So it means there is need for the ARP process. However, with this simulation, since we did not put ARP here on the event list, we will not be able to see how ARP is going to be doing its job. I'll do that in the second simulation. So just going through ICMP, I think with this third one, you will put it right here. You will put it here. Right, with the third event, what do we have? With the third event, we have a packet now sent to the switch. The frame source MAC address was found. The outgoing port, the switch sends. Okay, I think I'm complicating things for myself here. Right. With the ICMP, what I wanted to demonstrate is how the ARP protocol functions, the broadcasts that are sent with the ARP protocol and everything else. However, with this one, we are only seeing how the ICMP protocol functions. So if I look at the topology, what is going to happen is, if I'm pinging this device right here with .2, right? A packet is sent to the switch with the destination MAC of this device. Then from the switch, it goes to the hub. The hub broadcasts. This one rejects. Then this one responds to the echo request. The response gets here. The hub broadcasts. This one rejects again. When it goes to the switch, it comes back to this device. Let me reset and explain it that way. That's how basically it's supposed to be out in communication using the ARP protocol. That's how basically it happens. Let me reset this so that I can explain it much better. The way I'd approached it was a bit off. Right, let's put another ping. So here we're just demonstrating ICMP. Right, ping 172.16.312. All right, let's ping again. So at this point, this is the packet we want to send. If I capture again, nothing has changed. Why? This is where the ARP process is taking place. That's why nothing has changed. Our envelope is still there. So the ARP process, since it's not here on the event list, we don't have a way of simulating that. So ARP process is done. Our next, this is where our packet is being sent to the switch with the destination being this device. From there, from the switch, it goes to the hub. From the hub broadcasts. So the purpose of doing this is so that we can demonstrate how the hub functions. Hopefully, in an exam, when asked, what is the difference between a hub and a switch? A hub broadcasts everything. Even if it knows, well, it doesn't know. Even if there is a unicast MAC address, destination MAC address, the hub always broadcasts. So with the broadcast, however, this one rejects the packet because the destination MAC doesn't belong to this one, it belongs to this. So this is where the echo request arrives to the destination, ping. When we are checking for connectivity, to prove that there is connectivity, this request needs to go back here with the reply. So this is where the reply starts. It goes back to the hub. From the hub broadcasts, two envelopes go there. But this one is rejected because that is not the destination. From the switch, it goes back to the sending device. That tick, meaning we have connectivity, ICMP is done. Okay, so ICMP personal simulation in real time, you see there are 4 packets which are sent, 4 messages which are sent. If 4 of them are delivered, that's 100%. Most of the times, it's 3 messages that are delivered, 75%. If you do it the second time, most probably 100. So those 4 messages, if we continue, you will see another packet is sent again. We don't test for connectivity using just one packet. We send another one. That's the second packet, right? Connected, another one. Sent again. It comes back, connected. Then the last one, the fourth one, this is the simulation. With the last one, we are done with our communication. Even if I click next, there is nothing else. Very important to go through these labs and play around. It helps you understand the process of communication itself. When it comes to the exams now, if you have a picture of a network drawn in your head, you know how the protocols are exchanged, which protocol goes first, etc., etc. It becomes very much to answer those questions because you know how the network works. Right, let's reset and now add the ARP. Let's now try to visualize the 2 protocols that are the ARP and the ICMP. Okay, so we have simulation mode. Let's go to ping again. 72.16.31.2. Right. There, our ICMP packet is being prepared. I didn't put the ARP, huge blunder there. Out here. I didn't edit those event lists. So we still have 1 packet here. 1 frame. Let's edit this so that we also have ARP. Right, we now have ICMP and ARP prop. Let's now send our ping. So 2016. 2 packets. So we have our 2 packets, those envelope. The blue one is ICMP. The green one is ARP. So if we want to send our message, the ICMP, we know what the IP address is, but we don't know the MAC address of this device. We know the IP, but we don't know the MAC. So it means the MAC needs to be resolved. So to resolve the MAC, what we send first is the ARP. The ARP protocol starts exchanging its messages first. Then the ICMP sends after we have resolved the MAC address. So if I start clicking my next here, you will see the ARP protocol is the one that exchanges the messages. Why is this one here? Okay, let me see. A broadcast. Not so sure why this packet is here, but let's ignore this one. Let's ignore this one. So from here, we have our ARP request which are sent to this switch. As you can see, the switch broadcasted. That's how an ARP request works. So the switch broadcasted here, but here it was rejected because this default gateway doesn't have the IP address which needs to be resolved. This one also rejected. The IP address to be resolved doesn't belong to this one. Therefore, what's left, it goes to the hub. We click next again. We go from the hub to these two devices. This one rejects because the IP address doesn't belong to this one. However, this one accepts. When it accepts, it then responds with its MAC address. The MAC address is sent to the hub. The hub broadcasts as usual. We get these two. This one is rejected. The switch sends back to this device. Here we have our ARP being resolved. The green one, click. It has been resolved. It means we now know the MAC address to the IP address that we want to ping. Then after the ARP process is done, ICMP starts from there. That's where ICMP starts. Then the process continues like that until we get 4 packets being sent. So what I basically want to demonstrate here is understanding how protocols work together. It's not like one message is sent with all the protocols in there and it's no going to no. Pane protocol inototanga kuita communication. Kana yapedza, then it means the other one can write over the way inenge yaitwa neimwe. Yopedza and we go like that. I think we also saw this with when we did that simulation in HTTP, we connected to a web server via web client. We sent an HTTP request. Information and true is that response to HTTP. But since we have other protocols like TCP being part of whatever we are doing, we saw that TCP ndoinototanga kuita connection before HTTP comes into play. TCP yaita connection, kana pane connection, then HTTP posendwa ma-requests nema-response. Kana yapedza TCP, you close that connection, you terminate a connection. That's how protocols work. They work with each other. You never know, Gomira, then the other takes over, and that's how it goes. And I think basically this summarizes module number, is it 8, 9? Module number 9, which is address resolution. Right? Any questions before we close this one and start on a little bit of subnetting? Any questions? Nada. It means people are getting everything. Good.